devotees, we were discussing Mattaha Parataram Nanyat. Kinchidasti Dhananjaya Mayi Sarvam Idam Protam Sutre mani-gana iva. So, the three realities, all these three truths are reality. The truth of the material world, the truth of the living entities, and truth of Krishna. All of them are simultaneously a reality. It is not that one is a reality that gets sublated. The meaning of sublated means it disappears. A good example of sublation is a mirage. The mirage appears to be a reality when I am seeing from far. But as I go near, then it becomes it disappears. Sometimes we also see that, like I was talking to one Purohit here. So he had come for one Vedic festival. So he was telling me that Durataha Ramyataram Bhavet, right? If you are looking at all of us from very far, it will look very nice. But when you come very close, then it will appear that, okay, this person is also like me only. So he was being a little modest and saying, no, don't give me a lot of respect. I look very nice only from very far. But very close, I'm not very far. So I was thinking like that about myself. So sometimes we see everything appears very good when we see from very far. But when we go a little close towards some people, we realize actually who they are. So this is called sublation. Sublation means it disappears as you come closer. The reality no longer exists. Similarly, it is not the case that the Jiva is right now appearing true, but as you go a little closer to reality, the Jiva will disappear, the Jagat will disappear. Now, Krishna is very clearly saying, Mayi sarvam idam protam sutre. Again, just like he's saying, Mayi sutre. So both of them are a case in Sanskritam where when you have to say uh, 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 when something is situated in something, right? Just like we say sutre, in sutra, mayi, in me, right? So this is called saptami vibhakti. So when you say sutre, in something, or you could say grihe, vrikshe. So when we want to say something is there in something, then you use this word. Okay, so mayi also becomes locative case. It is called seventh. There are eight vibhaktis in Sanskritam. So when we say Krishnaya Swaha, Krishnayadam Namama, this is Chaturthi Vibhakti. Chaturthi means you are basically offering something to Krishna. Krishnaya. Krishnaya means to Krishna. Right? Similarly, here the word is Sutre. Sutre means in Sutra, not to Sutra. In Sutra. Sutre mani-gana iva. So Krishna is very clearly saying everything is resting on the Sutra. Like pearls are strung on a thread. On a thread. So the pearls are also real. The pearl is also real. Pearls are also real. So it is not that we are all the same. This is called Eka Jiva Vada. So you can maybe take notes here. These are important philosophical points. I might not be able to bring this up during Bhakti Vriksha because it's a little analytical in nature. But it will help you understand different philosophies. So what exists. So you don't understand some philosophy simply by understanding this is true. You understand something is true by understanding what else is false. Right? So it is easier to understand reality by understanding the negative than to understand the positive. So if you want to understand what is right, you also have to understand what is wrong. If you simply say just will understand Krishna's Bhagavan, that will not give you very solid knowledge. So that is why the Shastra is always employing what is negating, what is not true also is emphasized. Krishna says this in some place in the Bhagavad Gita. Does anyone know where does Krishna say this? I mentioned this many times. Where does Krishna say the positive and the negative? Both have to be understood.
That
is basically the difference between the matter and spirit. But Krishna is telling what is good also should be known, and what is bad also should be known. Because only then you can do the right decision. You can make the right decision. Everyone is with me, right? When I tell the answer, you should remember this answer for some time, at least, right? And the best way to do it is that you quote it.
He says in the third chapter, so you should not do anything.
Third chapter is correct, but that is not the shloka. Yajnarthat karmano netra is not the shloka. The shloka is karmano hi api bodhavyam. Bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha. Bodhavya means you have to know. Like you said, the word comes from the root word budh. Budh means to know. Bodhavyam, you have to know. What should be known? Karmano hi api bodhavyam. You have to understand what is to be known. And akarmanastha bhi bodhavyam. Vikarmanastha bodhavyam. You have to understand what is to be done, what is not to be done. Karmano hi api bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha. Vikarma means what is not to be done. That also you must know. So you simply understand what is correct, then you won't understand what is wrong. That is what Srila Prabhupada is very famous for. Srila Prabhupada is not like a Kalakshepa Katha Kalachar, like he simply is giving what is Krishna's Bhagavan. No. What is not Krishna also has to be known. What is not Bhakti also should be known. You simply understand what is Bhakti, you can't do Bhakti. If you also understand what is not Bhakti, then you can do Bhakti. Correct? This applies to everything. What is good japa, I have to know. What is bad japa also I have to know. You simply understand what is good japa and don't understand bad japa, it is not possible to do good japa. Okay, like that. Okay, so remember the shloka. Can someone say what shloka number is this? Karmano hi bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha. Akarmanastha bodhavyam ghana karmano gatihi. I don't know the exact shloka number. Can someone tell me what shloka is this? Karmano hi bodhavyam.
4.17, Prabhu.
4.17. So yeah, you can memorize this very nicely. So you can quote this. So we understand. But the greatness of Prabhupada can understand from the shloka. So he's going after every detail of what is not Krishna consciousness. So we can understand what is Krishna consciousness. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of a lot of controversy, because when you say what is not Krishna conscious, all our illusions that we are being Krishna conscious will be hurt. So many people will become your enemies when you say what is not Krishna consciousness. But it is a thankless task. It has to be done. And no better person to do than the spiritual master, right? So he does a very thankless task of pointing out everything that is not Krishna conscious. Right? So anyway, coming back to the point. What did I say? Yeah, Eka Jiva Vada. That is where I was. So there are a group of philosophers who say there is only one Jiva. There are not many Jivas. There is only one Jiva. And that one Jiva is appearing as many. Naneva Bhati. Nana Iva. It appears like Nana. But actually there is only one Jiva. Right? So it appears like that. So there is no Jai Sachinandana Krsna Das. There is no Purnima Mataji. There is no Pavanesh Prabhu. There is no Hariharan Prabhu. All these are merely Maya. In one sense, partially it is true, because I am not this material body. The separate material identities I have, it is not true. That is true. Correct. Agreed. To some extent, partially, 50% agreed. But the rest 50%, where we have unique spiritual identities, is not being accepted. That is not correct. So, that is because it is not accepted, the philosophy is not right. Krishna is defeating this philosophy here. He is telling, Sutre mani-gana. Mani-gana, which means there are many living entities. Okay? There is not just one living entity. If Krishna simply said money, then that is what mani-gana. Krishna, you must very carefully examine the upamanam that Krishna is using here. Krishna is using the word sutre in sutra, and he is telling mani-gana iva. There are many pearls, not one jiva, many jivas. And how are the jivas related to the sutra? Dharaka. Krishna is a dharaka. He is the person who is holding it. And the person who is being held, okay, he person who is being held is the jiva. So he is the person who is being poshana. He's poshaka. Right? We are poshya. We are being nourished. He is the person who is nourishing. He is the person who is dharaka. He is the person who is holding all of us. And we are being held. Okay, this is the sambandham between me and Krishna. So the sutra can exist independent of the pearls, but the pearls cannot sustain together, nor by itself, nor will it have any validity, nor will it have any importance without the sutram. Correct or not? Correct or not? Sutram can exist independently, no problem. It's independent. But can the pearls come together without Krishna? Is it possible? No, not possible. The pearls always have to exist and they get their importance because of Krishna. This is why Krishna is mentioning many times in the 10th chapter. And also, the pearls cannot be united also without Krishna, the sutra. Like if I'm trying to be united with my wife or children or the society without principle of Krishna consciousness, what will happen? Say I try to bring two pearls in the air and try to bring them together. Will they stay together? No. Artificially, they can stay together for some time, but they'll again fall down. Is it not? Because they are not united on the principle of Krishna, on Bhagavan. Because they are not united on the principle of Bhagavan, their unity is merely an apparition. It is merely a farce. So, Sutre, in the Sutra, mani-gana iva. All the living entities are true. First point. Second point, all the living entities are dependent on Krishna. Second point. Third point, all the living entities can be united only on the principle of Krishna consciousness. Third point. Fourth point, it externally it might appear only the pearls exist as if the sutra doesn't exist. But an intelligent person will understand behind the manis there is a sutra. Similarly, it might appear as if the living entities are functioning independently. The material world is functioning independently, but it is not true. It is not true. A person who's got a more jnanavan, a person who's intelligent can penetrate the material reality and understand, no, there is Krishna behind this scene. Sutre mani-gana iva. He's a sutra, he's a sutradhari. Krishna holds the strings. Even from the English language also you can say Krishna holds the strings. Right? And if we are trying to act independent of Krishna, immediately I fall down. Patanti adaha. Materially or spiritually. Maya means to act independent of Krishna. Because what is the sambandham? What is my sambandham? I should depend on the sutram. This is my sambandham. Okay? As long as I recognize that nature of mine, that I am a mani and my existence is dependent on the sutra, my importance is dependent on the sutra. As soon as the sutra goes out, I fall down. So my only hope is the sutra. My only hope is Krishna. So everything is resting upon Krishna as pearls are strung on a thread. Other point is that externally it appears as one only. You don't see the pearls strung. Externally it appears there is only one reality. That is why the Shastra says Ekam Sat Viprabhuda Vadanti. There is only one necklace now. Correct? When you look from outside, is there many necklaces or one necklace? One necklace only. But within that necklace, there is a lot of diversity. So, just like in the spiritual world, it is all spiritual truth only. But within that spiritual world, there is diversity. Everything is spiritual energy in the spiritual world. That's like when you enter a temple. Everything is spiritual, everything is Vaikunta, the deities are Vaikunta, the floor is Vaikunta, everything is actually spiritual. Nothing in the temple is actually material. But within the temple, there is diversity. There is prasadam, there are the deities, there is kirtan, there is mridanga, there is kartal. There are many things, but all of them are spiritual. But at the same time, they are all diverse. Similarly, externally, when you see it from a tattva standpoint, everything is actually one only. But within that one reality, there is diversity. That also Krishna is mentioning here. There is energetic and energy are not different from each other. That is true. But the purpose of energy itself is to serve the energetic. So if the energy itself is completely not different from energetic, then there is no purpose of energy. There is no purpose of energy, right? So energies are diverse. In energies there is variety. Energy there is pleasure, and the purpose of the pleasure is to serve the energetic. And while being different from the energetic, the energy is also simultaneously non-different. This is the Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva. So we should not become confused by other false philosophies. Many people who speak Bhagavad Gita, but they don't accept this point as the ultimate issue that the Jivas are many, Jivas are dependent on Krishna, Krishna is existing, Jiva is existing, the Sambandha between Jiva and Krishna is existing. This they don't accept. Nor do they accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yet they continue to speak on the Bhagavad Gita, yet they give commentaries on Bhagavad Gita, yet they have a lot of seminars on Bhagavad Gita. But the simple point Krishna is mentioning very suspashtam here, mattaha parataram na anyad kinchitasti. Kinchitasti is telling very clearly. So after Krishna is telling this, there is no true superior to me. To say Krishna doesn't have any energies also is false. And of those energies, Krishna is amongst those energies is also false. This is another error that is committed by the jnanis sometimes. So they say Krishna is one of those energies. How do they say this? They say Krishna is one of the mental vikaram. Bhakti is merely a manovritti. They don't say Bhakti is spiritual. They say Bhakti is a manovritti. And Bhagavan is appearing on this manovritti. How can Bhagavan appear in the manovritti? No. Bhagavan's form is completely spiritual. Bhagavan doesn't appear in the mental part of a devotee. Don't think Bhagavan appears in your mind. Bhagavan cannot appear in the mind. Bhagavan can appear only in the spiritualized consciousness of the living entity. Of course, in Abhasa, we can try to remember Krishna to some extent. But when Krishna really gives darshan, he doesn't appear on the mind. Right? Because mind is material. How can Krishna appear on something material? It's not possible. Right? So, Krishna appears in the heart of a devotee. When the heart has been overtaken by the internal energy of the Lord. When the heart has taken shelter of the internal energy, within that internal energy, he appears. That is the meaning of saying Hare Krishna. Which means what? Hara is appearing within the heart. She is giving shelter in the heart. And within the Hara potency, Krishna appears. In the mind cannot Krishna appear. Why? It is material. Mind is energies of Krishna. The material energy of Krishna. Bhinna prakriti rashtata. Right? Of course, Krishna also exists in the material energy. But he doesn't manifest himself completely. While we are within its control. By control of material energy, one should not think Krishna is merely a modification. Many people think that Bhakti is my own creation. I am producing Bhakti by my feeling. Sometimes people think like that. I have Bhakti for Jesus. I have X, Y. My own Bhakti by my own feeling. I am producing. People think like that. No, that is not true actually. It is a manovritti. It is a transformation of the mind. Bhakti is actually given by a sadhu. It is being blessed by a sadhu. Then only we get bhakti. And only that bhakti can make us overcome our mind. I'll just finish with this point. How can a product of mind help us overcome the mind? Think about it. If something is a product of the mind, can it help me transcend the mind? That is why people find it very difficult to transcend the mind with our materialistic definitions of bhakti. Okay? Because it is material ultimately, is it not? So we should not hear from those who materialize bhakti, who materialize Krishna consciousness, who think Krishna is a material reality and will be ultimately sublated. We should not hear from people who think the living entities are only one, or the living entities are an imagination, or they are temporary, or bhakti is merely a temporary adjustment. So there are so many philosophers, so many speakers on YouTube who think on these lines. And when we hear from Bhagavad Gita, though they may speak very nicely, when we hear from these people, our understanding of Tattva Jnana will be delayed by more and more and more and more books. Because Krishna is very clearly saying what is Tattva Jnana here. And if we try to hear from people who depart from this understanding, then what happens? Then we get confused. Right? And our bhakti becomes more, it takes a detour. What could I have done very simply, it takes a detour. I'll stop here. Any questions or comments are welcome. Thank you, devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.